the woman's feet suddenly lifted off the ground. Two strong men tried with all their strength, but they couldn't pull her down even an inch. Half an hour later, she silently rose a few more centimeters. Doctors were left with no answers. All they could do was run blood tests. From that day on, the woman could no longer live like a normal person. Eating, drinking, resting, even sleeping, everything had to be done while she hovered in midair. A week later, experts came to take measurements. Their conclusion was terrifying. At this rate, within 3 months, she would rise to an altitude of 10,000 meters. 3 months after that, she would pass the Kármán line and drift beyond Earth's atmosphere. At that time, her head was already pressing against the ceiling. To ease her suffering, her husband personally broke through the second floor. The woman braced herself with her hands against the ceiling, helplessly calling out her daughter's name, but the daughter refused to accept that her mother might leave her world. Late that night, after the girl finally fell asleep, the woman hovered near the broken floor, quietly watching her. By morning, her body had risen even higher. The daughter wanted to quit school and stay by her side, but the woman insisted that she continue her studies. Coming home from school, the daughter heard her mother's painful groans. She found a rope tied tightly around her mother's ankles. Her father was trying to use this method to stop his wife from rising further. The daughter rushed into the kitchen, grabbed a knife to cut the rope, but her father tried desperately to stop her. In the next second, under the intense pulling force, a sharp cracking sound came from the woman's ankles. The girl pushed her father away with all her strength and sliced through the rope. Later, the woman had risen above the roof. The family used a lift to send her clothes, food, and an MP3 player. As the lift slowly descended, her husband, who had been silent all along, suddenly rushed forward and hugged her tightly. This might be the last time they ever held each other. The woman kept ascending, higher than all the buildings. The air grew thin. The temperature plummeted sharply. Even wrapped in thick clothes, her face was still flushed from the cold. Food was running out. Yet even so, she still worried about her family. She called her daughter, asking about school, reminding her to eat warm meals. Hearing her mother's familiar voice, the girl completely broke down. But to keep her mother from worrying, she forced herself to sound distant and said she had to go to class. When the call ended, the woman was left with emotions she couldn't describe. She took out the MP3 player her daughter had given her. As the music played, tears finally fell. Then, the MP3 slipped from her hand and fell away into the distance. She collapsed emotionally, waving her arms and crying out. And in that moment, the sky suddenly filled with thousands of birds. They circled around her, creating a sight she had never seen before. She froze. Then, for the first time in a long while, she smiled, laughing like a child. Before long, she reached the edge of the Kármán line. She slowly removed her oxygen mask and made one final call home. As the phone rang, her husband and daughter rushed toward it as if they already knew.
Whatever you do, I'm so proud of you.
Her voice grew faint as the signal began to fade. Softly she said, "I love you too." The line went silent. She continued rising, crossing the boundary, disappearing into the vast unknown. The phone eventually fell back to the ground. Her husband and daughter collapsed in tears,